Hey, what's going on? This is Martone, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. And the goal is to do incline chest press with 130 pounds is what I think I have on here today. Yes, I think I have 130 pounds on today. So the goal is to do incline chest press with 130-pound dumbbells. I did one set already just to make sure, which is interesting because just because you did one set with a certain number doesn't mean you can do another. So I recorded the first one. I did that as a short video. So with these, using my Kensui dumbbells again, to make sure, instead of having this digging in my thigh, and I'm not going as heavy, at least for me, not going as heavy. So not using those dumbbells this time compared to if I try to do heavier than 150, I might have to use those. But since I only have 130 on, I think I should be good to go. But again, I've said it a few times in my videos over the last year or so, and this is the second time saying it in this video. Just because you can do it the one set doesn't mean you can do it another. So the goal is 3 sets total of 4, I believe was my goal. So at least that's my goal for the month, is to do 3 sets of 4. And then next month, which will be February, depending on when certain people see this, February of 2025, is to do 3 sets of 5 for whatever load that I'm trying to move that for February. So I wasn't sure if I would be able to do this at all, due to hurting myself a little bit when I did back yesterday, which is Mondays for me, doing the exercise that I don't think I've done before, at least not like that, doing dumbbell deadlifts. And I felt fine, but for some reason toward the end of my workout doing something, all of a sudden I felt pain. It wasn't unbearable, but I don't want to feel that again. So I got to figure out what I might not do anymore, or do better or something. All right, so like I said, this is supposed to be the second set because I didn't record the first set. Set of 4, hopefully. That's one. The interesting thing about dumbbells, for whatever reason, especially any dumbbells, but I think specifically these, the conversations, many videos that I saw in 2024 about whether or not dumbbells would crack, break, not work as well if you drop them. And I think I've said this in a few videos, and I can't really help it because it doesn't make sense. It's stupid. It's unnecessary. So again, I'm using these Kensui adjustable max dumbbells, to where The limit to these, according to the company, is 150. The max is supposed to be 150, but I saw one guy do more. One guy, excuse me, still adjusting to my new schedule. Sorry about that. One guy, I think he had 168 point whatever on the dumbbells, and he did a flat bench chest press. But again, so many people for some reason keep talking about what'll happen if you drop them. You saw me just put these on the floor. I didn't drop them. Why would you drop them? It's like I don't understand the motivation people have and the question that people have to wonder. I mean, you know, everybody has their curiosities, but why the hell are you wonder? What do people wonder? What'll happen if you drop the dumbbells? How about not dropping them? What exactly is supposed to be impressive about dropping your dumbbells? Like I don't. What's impressive about it? What's helpful about it? I don't think it's impressive. I don't think it's smart. I mean, if it's really heavy and you know you're on the verge of hurting yourself and you have to drop them or something, but I mean, in terms of people dropping them on purpose and then getting mad that the dumbbells get damaged or broken, that makes no hot damn sense to me. So for those who do that, go for it, I guess. But yeah, so 3 sets of 4 for this month is my goal. And you know, hopefully, depending on what people are doing, having a goal. That's not my last set. I think I did say that I was doing multiple sets. I just didn't record the first one. But hopefully, you know, the little bit that I've done so far, you give the video a like if you like it at least a little bit. Subscribe so that you're more aware of my new ones without having to look around for it. And then share it with people who might actually like stuff like this. Because I know I definitely would have loved seeing stuff like this as a teen, even though there was no YouTube when I was a teenager. I don't even think we had MySpace yet. But if I had stuff like this to see, to help me try to figure out what to try to shoot for, especially for those who either did not or do not know that you can get certain dumbbells to where you can add weight to them, especially if you work out at a gym and it's likely that their dumbbells only go to 100. There are gyms that go heavier than that, but depending on where you live and how long it's going to take for you to get there or whatever. So for those of us that work out at home and you get certain dumbbells, excuse me, without having to spend thousands of dollars on multiple dumbbells. So that, and then I'll put a link at the bottom of the video on getting these dumbbells if you're interested in other equipment from the company. Alright, so let me see if I can do this third set. Again, that's the interesting thing. I think certain people know it, but you know, just to make sure, just because you can do the one set of pushing a certain load, pushing or pulling a certain load, doesn't mean that you'll be able to do a second and or a third set. So let me see if I can do this third set, especially seeing that I don't think until maybe a year or two ago I was not able to do 130 pounds for probably more than 2 reps, and if I was, I didn't really try. So because again, if you heard me in certain videos, for me, I wasn't able to get stronger when it comes to doing dumbbells. Dumbbells are my preference. I wasn't able to get stronger with dumbbells due to, again, I just said a little while ago, the gym that I was going to, and pretty much any gym that I've been to, had a membership to, didn't have dumbbells that go over 100. And I saw one gym with 110, And I've heard of other gyms that have at least 150, if not more. So, and then I looked into why, which makes sense. It's annoying for us, but some of us, but who have or had a gym membership, uh, to have really heavy dumbbells in your gym. If you only have 100, which a lot of people can't do anyway, if you have dumbbells over 100, depending on how heavy people try to go, one, they're expensive. Two, depending on how heavy the dumbbells are, um, in terms of the gym. So if you do it at home like I do, whatever happens, happens. Hopefully you don't hurt yourself. And if you live in an apartment like I do, because I probably shouldn't be lifting like this, but I'm comfortable with doing it and comfortable that I won't do damage to myself or the apartment. So plus I plan on moving from where I am now into a townhome with a garage and or basement. But anyway, for the gyms to have dumbbells 120 pounds, which isn't too heavy, but 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, maybe going up to 200. To have those, many gyms don't want to or probably can't deal with the liability. So that sucks for us who want to be able to try to do that. But it sucks for the gym if somebody actually gets hurt and possibly getting sued, which is stupid for them anybody to sue the gym because they tried to lift something to hurt themselves, but it's likely. So, and I actually have a business, so it's likely. The interesting thing about this dumbbells, I've said it in some of my videos last year, I think. Last year, maybe sooner. Maybe 2023 or 2024. To where I made a comment, at least one comment over the last year or two, that a good indicator on whether or not you can lift some of these heavy ass dumbbells sometimes is if you go to pick it up and you haven't even, I'm not laughing because some people can't do it, but I'm laughing because it's kind of funny when you notice, especially if you're really sleepy, really tired, or you're not that strong. When you go to pick up the dumbbell and it feels super heavy and you haven't even done your chest press yet or shoulder press, whatever it is you're trying to do, if you haven't even done your workout yet and you go to pick the dumbbell up and it's heavy already, that's a strong indicator that you either need to lift less weight or probably take that day off and recover mentally, physically, and emotionally, and just do it next time, next week or the week after, whatever the time period is for you to recover and then be able to do it. So it's likely you should probably, depending on how tired or sore or whatever you're feeling, the old school dumbasses would say push through it. Depending on how you feel, maybe, but if you're, depending on how you feel at the same time, sometimes a day off is okay, especially for young people. I know you probably just want to push through and whatever certain young people are thinking, anybody, but probably young people. A day off is okay. A few days off is okay. A week off is okay, depending on why you're taking a day off, depending on why you're taking a week off. If you feel really sore, sick, or whatever it is, taking some days off, a day off, a couple of days off, a week off, 2 weeks off, depending on the reason. So if it's due to trying to recover and whatever way that you need to recover, maybe even just want to recover, that's okay. It is okay. Find something else to do to occupy your time, especially if it's something you actually like to do. When I was younger, the last thing I thought I would do was take a week off, but I've done it a few times over the last 6 years, maybe longer, to where I've taken a week off, and I'm excited about getting back to my workout when I take that week off. So I just do other stuff whenever I take a week off, and it's not often. Whenever I take a week off, I'm not sure how long it's been since I've done it actually. Take a week off and come back, but don't go crazy as soon as you come back. I've done that. So don't go crazy as soon as you come back. If you take a certain number of days off, or you take a week off, don't go crazy as soon as you come back. At least let yourself warm up to coming back. So especially the first day back. Oh my gosh. All right. So yeah, hopefully you give the video a like, subscribe so that you're more aware of the next videos, and then share it with people who might like it, especially if they want to see stuff like this, to where somebody's chest pressing at least 130 pounds, if not more. I think I actually did 143 pounds for the first time before, so 140 or 143. Two, three, four. Yes, indeed. So, I'm currently 39. My 40th birthday is later this year in the summer. And I say that because, again, when I was in my 20s and early 30s, I didn't know how many gyms had, heavier dumbbells. And for those of us who work out at home, for whatever the reason, I didn't know that I can get adjustable, loadable dumbbells and be able to put my own weight on, except for the dumbbells you see at Walmart, back when Kmart was available, around Walmart, Kmart, maybe Target, and I'm not sure what other stores, maybe some bike shops that might have that branched out. Instead of just having bike stuff, they got fitness stuff. And in fact, that's how I found out about these. I wasn't looking for these. I didn't know about them. If I did, I forgot. But I wasn't looking for these. And when I went to go get my bike repaired while they were doing it, I asked them if they had 125, 130, something like that. I asked them if they had 125 pound dumbbells and or 130 pound dumbbells or heavier. And the only reason I asked them that is because I think I saw some 80s or 90s pound dumbbells at the bike place in Rochester, when I was still in Rochester, New York. And he's like, no, but we have these, I think he said dumbbells. I don't know if he said Olympic dumbbells or whatever he called them. And he said, we have these, and I think you can put on whatever weight you want to put on. And I'm like, can you put this much on? I don't remember what number I called out. Can you put this much on? And he's like, this person probably doesn't work out, doesn't know, probably don't care. But again, since they had the dumbbells there, I figured, why not ask him? And it's like, can I do this? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, but we only have one. So that was an issue. But I bought it and looking forward to trying to figure out where to get the other one, which I think I got on Amazon. So I got the one from a bike shop. Then I got the other one from Amazon. And I've been whooping ass ever since. You know, it took a while to get to certain numbers due to, and I was like 30. Yeah, I think I was 30. So I think that was 9 years ago, at least 9 years ago, if not more, when I first bought these dumbbells. And, you know, I did 120. Uh, you know, I think I did 130. Well, it was 128, but I think I did 128 at one point by accident because I didn't take into consideration that the dumbbells were 8 pounds by themselves. So I put 120 on, and then all of a sudden found out that the dumbbells are like anywhere between 8 and 10 pounds by themselves. So I ended up doing a chest press with 128, but thinking for a while, thinking that it was only 120. Then all of a sudden I found out that the dumbbells were either 8 or 10 pounds, and a lot of us were trying to figure out if it's between 10 and 15, but I think they're only 8 pounds. Um, and it was like, really? So I've been lifting certain things heavier than I thought it was when I was doing certain things. So that helped quite a bit for me in terms of realizing that I was stronger than I thought. The good thing about that is sometimes not knowing is a good thing. In terms of if you're constantly trying to improve and you're doing certain things, sometimes it's better to not know. Um, just in terms of when you finally find out, not knowing when you finally find out, and it's like, I mean, you know, and it's certain people might think it's only an 8 pound difference, it's only a 10 pound difference. That's a lot for certain people, and for me it seemed like a lot because I didn't know that's what the number was. And I was like, well, shit, if I was that close to 130, I might as well go ahead and try 135 or something like that if I can. In fact, I think the video that the exercise that I'm talking about, I think that video on here, at first nobody was paying attention. For quite a while, nobody was paying attention to that when I put that on YouTube. Then all of a sudden I looked and it was at like 500. Then all of a sudden I looked, it was at 1,000. Then all of a sudden I looked and it was at 1,500. All of a sudden I looked and it was at like 3,000. Then all of a sudden I looked, it was at 5,000. All of a sudden I looked, it was 7,500, I think, and now it's over 10,000. So thankfully I've lifted heavier since then. So I've lifted heavier since then, and that was at least 8 years ago. When I did that, when I got them, and I was trying to figure out what to put on and what and how to do. But that video has gotten over 10,000 views, but it took damn near 9,000 to get to 10,000. I was pleasantly shocked that it got to that number. I'm curious as to why so many people watch it, depending on how many people watched it multiple times, but I've lifted heavier than that at this point, so hopefully people watch the other ones where I've actually lifted heavier. But again, if people actually read the stuff that I say under the video, especially on my shorts, to where I don't say anything and I just post it to save time. And I've said something many times over the last, because I've surprised myself many times over the last almost 3 years, since I moved here actually, is I've done stuff as a, currently I'm a 39-year-old vegan. Depending on when certain people see this, I've been vegan for almost 5 years. In February 14th of 2025, I'll be vegan for 5 years. And I've done stuff. So for those who think that vegans aren't swole or strong, if you watch my videos, you'll see, if you look at the dates of when the videos were recorded and what I was doing at one point compared to the so if you look at what I did in 2022, actually shoot, if you look at what I did in 2020, and then you look at what I did in 2021, and then you look at what I did in 2022. So every year I've done it. I've gotten at least a little bit stronger with everything that I've done. And I'm not saying that to brag. The point is, I'm in my 30s still doing certain things for the first time. Doing certain things for the first time. Um, Many things for the first time. Being in my 30s and being vegan. So whatever you're doing, depending on what it is, if you keep practicing, there are certain things you won't need. A bunch of stuff you don't need. You shouldn't need steroids, TRT, or whatever that other garbage that people are drinking, taking, shots, and whatever else that people are taking. I'm doing all this stuff that I've done over the last 9 years, especially over the last 3 years. And I'm doing it without taking drugs that I don't need or want. I made a decision in the 1990s, before high school. I think I said that in my video that I recorded yesterday. You know, and I'll try not to say it too often, even though it's true, but to not smoke, not drink, not do drugs. I do drink, but not often, but I do drink. So I did start doing that, but no smoking, no drugs. And the goal was to the belief was for it, like if I'm blessed to do this, which obviously I am, if I'm blessed to do it without drugs or pills or whatever it is that certain people are doing, drinking, taking shots, then I'll do it. But if not, I just can't do it for whatever the reason. But thankfully, I'm curious enough to keep trying to figure out what number I can get to. Again, currently I'm 39. Still trying to figure out what number I might get to by like the age of 50 or before the age of 50, what numbers I can get to. So again, the point is keep practicing. Make sure you get your rest. Make sure you get a certain amount of sleep. Make sure you drink a certain amount of water. Make sure you're not doing too many sets, especially young people, but anybody, not doing too many sets. Getting your sleep, drinking a certain amount of water, eating a certain amount of food per day, depending on what your goal is. Not rushing, that's a big one. Not rushing. If it seems like you don't have time, figure out what to take out. Not being on your phone as much. Not playing video games as much. Getting up earlier, staying up later. Depending on what changes need to be made, whether or not you're working out at the gym, whether or not you're working out at home. I'm always by myself, except for my cat and dog, but other than that, I'm always by myself. Doing my workouts. I've considered many times to get to work out with other people so that I can have a spotter, to where I'm less likely to get hurt, which everybody should do, but that's hard to do. People having different schedules, and that's something we all figure out by the time we get ready to go to college, and you see how all of a sudden certain people working in the morning, afternoon, night. Some people are going to college, many people are not. And you just, by the time you graduate high school, for those who either did it or are about to do it, there's certain things you figure out, and hopefully you just do as best as you can. And with this generation, with all the stuff that's available compared to what was available when I was growing up, and I could be mistaken, maybe I just didn't know. So that's why I like doing videos like this. But hopefully you get the information you need in terms of dumbbells and barbells and power racks. Actually, there should be a power rack here soon, a new power rack here soon, different than the one I had last time, to where it won't take up as much space. So you'll see me doing pull-ups and stuff like that again, unless there's some changes that are made. But I'll get a power rack within the next 2 weeks, and you'll see me doing that again. So, per usual, I'm talking a lot, but again, to make sure, as best as I can, that you guys who either are new to some of this stuff or trying to get to a certain point and you haven't, And again, hopefully my story helps in terms of depending on what you did not have available to you, whether, not having enough money, the right equipment, not knowing where to get certain equipment from. That's why I'm talking so much, because I didn't know. I didn't know. I don't think I had enough curiosity to look around on Google or anything like that as much when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. Didn't think I needed to. I thought I might just go to a certain gym so that I didn't have to spend the money on certain equipment. But, now that I don't go to the gym at all to, do all this stuff here, I have, I believe more than enough of what I need, except for that power rack that I'm getting. And, do what works for you. Don't rush it. Don't do stuff based on popularity. And hopefully it works for you. And then, if depending on what kind of information you need, what kind of information you want, what kind of help that you need, what kind of help you want. I'm the owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness, where I do online personal training. And if you actually need help, want help, don't hesitate to send me a direct message on Instagram at Fuller Fitness BNY to let me know, what you have going on, what you're trying to do, what kind of equipment you have available. And then we figure out whether or not you and I should connect, whether or not I want you as a client, whether or not you want me as a trainer, if we're a good fit currently, possibly long term, and get you going, especially with this time of year, depending on when certain people see this video, to try to be, look and feel a certain way before spring break, before summertime. And then for those of us who do it for life. So, wherever you are in your current journey and you actually want help, like I said, if you direct message me on Fuller Fitness BNY on Instagram, and let's get you going. So for everybody else who might not be, whatever other people have going on, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe, and hopefully you look forward to the next video. This is Martone, owner and trainer Fuller Fitness. Take care.